You see, we only have got 28 acres of land and only 118 houses. So along the years, a few generations have passed. A lot of people who have actually got married, they have come out from the Portuguese settlement. You know what I mean? They come out, got no place. You know? And then, but there are also some people who have passed away, so anak dia take over the house. But there are still some people who have come out. So the whole of Malacca, we have got about 2,500 people. The whole of Malaysia, we have got about 22,000 Eurasians. And then along the generation, right? So say supposing they have married another person from a different culture, alright, and then their children married from another culture, right, but they still maintain the surname that is coming from the Portuguese settlement. So they cannot connect themselves here. But if they find the root, it is still here. Kaum Serani. Oh, Serani in English we call it Europe plus Asian Eurasia. Serani is not it's just Europe plus Asian, not the religion. You can be a Serani, but you can be a different religion. Alright, but if you are Serani, that means there is we have got some European blood and Asian blood. Ini saja.
Dengan jawatan saja.
Ada kata Serani itu daripada perkataan Nasrani, betul tak?
Ya, Nasrani kita pakai dulu. Okey, asalnya begitu kan. Okey, masih ada masalah. Nasrani is actually Nazarene. Nasrani dulu kita panggil Nasrani sebelum masuk Serani. Those days. Dulu ISIS pun letak Nasrani. Now Nasrani come from two words, Nazarene and Serani. That means Nazarene is Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ the Nazarene, daripada Nazareth. So we are the followers of Jesus Christ. So that is why it's Nazarene. And then we are Eurasian, Serani. Serani yang mengikut Jesus. Macam itulah. That is why Nasrani digunakan. So hari ni kita gunakan Serani. Serani ada question.
Mula sekali kita start dengan persatuan yang ada. Pertama dari bukan
kampung.
Persatuan
JKK. Oh, JKK is a pro-government body. Okay, it's a pro-government body. It goes under the umbrella of Japrun. Japrun. So Japrun macam katakan this whole area kat mana ini besar kan. So what happen? They in charge lah. They take care of the needs of the people kan. JKK means Jawatan Kuasa Kemajuan dan Keselamatan Kampung. That's JKK lah. So every area they have JKK. And then they have a community lah. Alright. So the JKK they will take care of the development and the keselamatan and the safety of the village. So the JKK here consists of about 17 members lah, 15 to 17 members and members. Alright. Now the one that you are looking for is not the JKK because JKK semua tempat ada. The concept
itu saya yang persatuan Portugis.
What you're looking for is the Regidor panel. Regidor panel is actually the ketua kampung, alright, and he has got his own panel to see the needs of the people there. The Regidor, what he does is this: he knows the family very very well, right? He handles the problems, masalah-masalah di antara the neighbors, alright, antara satu sama lain, handle masalah-masalah, and he gets in touch with them, and then he makes sure that everything is running in peaceful manner. Regidor. He has got a relationship. Regidor has got a relationship with the residents. For JKK chairman, he handles more on the economic side, the safety on a higher level, getting people connected to the government. So maybe the government needs to send some information, so the JKK will play that role to bring the information to the people. Or vice versa on the other side. So normally for kampung, the JKK chairman and the Regidor is the same person. For kampung, we did not. They wanted to actually split it, because the job was quite heavy. But then we also felt that it may not be a good thing in future when you get two different heads. You know what I mean? It's good to get one head handling one thing and getting connected with the government. It's a pro-government body lah, and mainly our function here we are doing is the perayaan, alright, and then any problems like now we have got this dengue problem, alright, so yeah, because more than 10 cases, dalam 2 minggu ni about 10 cases, more than 10 cases, so now we are actually trying to inform people to do some mini gotong royong in the home, do some mini gotong, so we encourage the people to get it clean up, so get it less. So that's the JKK slogan. And maybe many more things lah. Alright.
Dia itu bukan guys.
Okay, JKK
Yang Persatuan Portugis Media.
Oh, the Regidor ni it started. Regidor ni kita punya first Regidor is in 1925. 1925. Encik Felix Denker. Alright, but the settlement belum ada lagi. Kampung Portugis belum ada lagi, tapi dia sudah ada. So he has got connection dengan semua Eurasian yang ada kat Melaka. You know what I mean? Felix Denker is our first one, so start dari sana. And then they built the Kampung Portugis 1933. Then slowly, kan, he added the members to until they have got a team. So they call it the panel members of the Portugis settlement.
Orang Persatuan ni dah bersambung
sampai sekarang. Utama ni ya.
Ada bantuan tak?
Yes. Tanah.
Ada.
Alright, but kita kena request lah. We have to request.
So bantuan tu dah tetap.
We have to request, but there is a need. We must show that there is a need for it, for purpose for it, and then they will approve.
Di Persatuan ada duit sendiri untuk.
Yeah. So duit yang kita dapatkan sini same lah, tapi kerajaan same lah. Tak ada. It's like this, every year they have got the tabung activity RM1,000. Yang tahu tabung activity RM1,000 lah. Okay. But most of our money are coming from our own collection of work lah. When we do our perayaan, and we spend a lot of money during Christmas. Because we give back whatever we collect during the months, alright, for that year. Masa time Christmas, we give back to the residents, especially the children. Because when we have a children's party, we have got about 400 children here. So when we have the children's party, it will cost about RM50 one trip. With the makan, with the toys, RM50. So we only charge about RM20, RM15. So the balance kita yang top up lah. And then kita pay for the band lah, pay for this, for that, you know. So I think we spend about $20,000 on Christmas lah. So 25 tak boleh lah, dia orang busy. So no, sometimes 17, 17, 18. But it will be on a Sunday lah. Ahad tu yang sebelum hari Christmas. Because they are very busy, they cannot come out. You know what I mean? Before that, they can come out for children's party.
So masa tu sambutan Christmas ni kalau yang Persatuan buat masih menggunakan tradisi Portugis atau dah?
Okay. Banyak perubahan. Untuk Christmas banyak perubahan. What happened is that it started from 1-2 houses first. Before kita punya Santa Claus pun kecil-kecil lah. Kita punya just inside the house, and then kita pergi ziarah-ziarahi, we will meet, visit our people, and we go to all houses and visit. Right. But today is different. Today the whole Portuguese settlement bertukar jadi macam fairyland. So started with a few houses. They went to put lights on their house and all, and then the Santa Claus became bigger. And then after that, the next year everybody was trying to do the same. And then now we got about 100 houses putting lights on top of it. And then the JKK also felt that there was a need to put some decorations and lights because we got sponsors from Aichong Coffee and all that. Alright, so we put up lights lah. So we decorate this place and all. And the place is packed. There's a lot of people, tourists, far and near, from luar negara, dalam negara, all dalam negeri, everybody is coming here. And I think we have got about 20-30,000 people coming. That's all. So kalau kita datang, kita dapat kat luar, right? And dalam masuk. And the pack macam ni. And then sini orang simple aja, buat cincai. And then when they also don't lock the house, you know. So orang masuk aja ambil gambar. So ambil gambar lah. You know what I mean? So they like. In fact, you can come and you will see. You know what I mean? So it does look like that. In the night, it's very beautiful. So compared to those days, it's totally different. In fact, all our perayaan has become bigger and has become stronger. Our perayaan compared to those days. Now, mainly because there is a lot of support from the government of their, not only in terms of money, but in terms of their presence. Sebab diorang datang official place. Like last San Pedro, we had our governor official.
Saya buat sikit research pasal perayaan yang San Pedro yang terakhir Slow Fishman. Ini fisherman punya. So yang first hari tu ada apa? Introduce lah Lepas
Introduce our first one.
Lepas tu ada Ash Wednesday.
Okay, Ash Wednesday we don't celebrate lah. Ash Wednesday is macam awam-awam macam tu lah. It's our first day of Lent, so we don't celebrate. Now, Introduce has got connection dengan Ash Wednesday lah. Because Ash Wednesday we are Introduce dalam masa Portugis kita nak masuk, we are going to something. Nak masuk to something, that's the reason. So we are entering to something. What we do Introduce is that for us we call it water day, pesta air. So we release air antara satu sama lain, and then we prepare to drink air anggur ataupun sparkling juice. Okay, the two message there is to bermaaf-maafan and also merendahkan. That's the message we're telling. So they have to prepare themselves nak masuk pada bulan puasa. And then Ash Wednesday lah. So Introduce and Ash Wednesday ada connection.
So ini original perayaan dia atau original perayaan daripada Portugis atau?
Yeah.
Original
Introduce originally from Portugal. So we took it from Portugal lah. And then even though bulan puasa ni is a Catholic thing, it's a Christian thing, right? Not all Christian ikut. Only Portuguese culture saja. Only Portuguese culture saja.
Ada San Juan.
Okay, San Juan, for some people we know it as Pesta Lampu. Pesta Lampu, let's say.
Tanggung.
Tanggung. Now, San Juan in English is known as Saint John. So Saint John kan dia menyediakan masa tu kan Jesus dulu, so dia menyediakan orang-orang untuk menerima ini lampu. That means Jesus tu lah.
Sebagai lampu masa dia.
So Jesus sebagai lampu lah, sebagai lampu light, the light of Christ. So what happened? The people kat sini they will light candles all around the houses, at the jalan raya, at the door, on top of the roof, kat fencing, kat gate.
This is something same like Muslim ni. Muslim we call it malam tujuh itu, celebrate before raya.
Kena besar pastilah.
Sosial.
Not so sure. Yang mana?
Macam budaya.
No, but this one budaya, this budaya it is from the Portuguese. Maybe it has some mixture with the Muslim. I'm not too sure. But for us the Catholic, because Jesus is the light.
Catholic.
Catholics. So for us Catholics, Jesus is the light. So Saint John, he prepared the way sebelum Jesus datang. So it's to remind us kat sini to prepare ourselves to receive the light, Jesus Christ. Because 23rd of June is hari Saint John. Dia adalah hari dia. Itu dia punya hari dia. So it's the feast of Saint John. So we acknowledge that feast worldwide, satu dunia. We acknowledge that feast, and then we was preparing the way for the people by letting them all light. So we prepare lights lah. And masa San Juan dekat sini, kebanyakan orang dekat sini akan pakai baju hijau. Baju hijau dulu semua orang pakai baju hijau. Sekarang dah kurang sikit lah. Because dah modern sikit. Alright. But we still have people pakai baju hijau. Now because Saint John ini digelar sebagai seorang yang suci, innocent, so that is why hijau melambangkan kesucian. So that's the reason. That is Saint John lah.
Saya minat tadi bila cikgu beritahu cerita dah model. So kami nak tahu duduk dekat sini. Okey, kita boleh bayangkan mungkin daripada Dato' ancestors, kemudian Dato' berapa ramai masih menekalkan cara hidup masyarakat Portugis? Masih ada ataupun dah tak ada ataupun separuh-separuh?
Okay, it's all depending on the age. Alright. Actually, kalau if you call it as general, secara keseluruhan, everybody dia masih ikut. semua orang masih ikut budaya-budaya yang ada kat sini, the culture. But as we go with the age, when we come to a certain age, we are more focused on the world outside, alright, the modern world. We are more focused on studies, we are more focused on the culture, the music culture, a different kind of culture. But as we grow older, when we get married and we come back, we find that the culture is important. So they come back. Same like me, I can share. I only came back to the culture around 3 or 4 years back. But before that, I was more outside. I want the rock lah, I want this, I want all that, what they have there outside. But now, sudah kahwin already and everything, we find that the culture is good and it's important. So we come back, And we come back, we stay, and then we try to do what we can for the culture. So it still goes by the age, And the trend has been going on and on like that. That's what I noticed lah.
Maksudnya budaya Portugis masih ada.
For instance, bahasa dia, okay? We had a tuition class here. Dulu ada tuition class, we had about 30 over remaja, coming for the class, and we were teaching them the Kristang language, and we have got the books semua ada siap everything. So what happened is that lama-kelamaan asyik kurang sampai dah tak ada. Because why? It is not applicable to the life that they are living. It's not applicable to the things that they're going to do in future at their work. They're not going to speak Kristang masuk dalam kerja. You know what I mean?
Dekat rumah ada tak cakap Kristang ni?
Tak ada. But diorang boleh cakap Kristang. So what we do here, JKT, how we take care of this language problem is that we encourage the parents to teach the young sebelum dia masuk sekolah the Kristang. Macam dia cerita lah, like Chinese. Sebelum dia masuk sekolah, kita encourage orang to learn Kristang.
So ada yang
the basic semua ada. So as they grow up, like me also, I'm not very good in the Kristang language. But I pick it up. You know what I mean? After I got married, lepas sudah kahwin kan, I pick it up from everybody sini sana. Sekarang sudah okay. Because I had the basic when I was young. So when the time came, senang untuk me to pick up lah.
Kahwin yang seni kan?
Orang Sarawak, Singali.
Jadi boleh tak saya katakan kehidupan masyarakat Sarawak Indonesia, especially kepada Portugis, mereka masih mengekalkan tapi berdasarkan umur. Maksudnya kalau umur yang muda remaja tu mereka tak ambil kisah saya kurang, dan dia
Very correct. That I think very correct and very correct. That is the truth. Selain daripada kampung ni lah. Kat Malay Jaya, I think there are several Portuguese people there. Kat Malay Jaya.
Dia rumah atau
Rumah? Bukan, kampung tak ada. Kampung tak ada.
di luar Melaka?
Luar Melaka pun kampung tak ada.
Dia macam Penang pun tak ada.
Penang pun tak ada. Penang I never came across, tak ada. Pulau Tikus mungkin, tapi bukan kampung lah. Tak ada kampung lah. Dia orang all scattered. Semua scattered.
Ada yang kampung kedua ketiga
Tak ada.
Memang kat sini.
Kat sini sahaja.
Cik-cik, ini menarik sikit. Makanan, minuman, anything yang relates dengan macam ni lah.
F&B.
Boleh ceritakan secara macam spesifik boleh.
Okay, masa orang tinggal dalam port, we know that the kebaya and the Chinese, orang Cina, they are giving the cloth. Dia yang membawa kain sutra, right? And they were selling kain sutra, and that was the business, And then they were giving up the designs and all of the kebaya. So it was them who actually introduced the kebaya to the local, and they were living in the port. So that is why they have the kebaya with them. That is why the Malays have got the kebaya, and that is why the Portuguese also got the kebaya.
Kebaya asal daripada
Kebaya, because of the cloth. Because of the cloth, the design who created, I'm not too sure lah. The design, it could be the Malay design. There was a culture, a little bit of everything there. Malay culture mostly inside. You can see the pattern, cara-cara orang buat. It's more of a pattern Malay pattern. But the cloth was given from the Chinese. You know what I mean? Yeah. The kebaya.
Ada Portugis
Adapted to it. So they married the locals, and the Baba Naya also were using the kebaya, and they were getting married. and it became a trend. That was the clothes that they were using. Pakaian. So every time when somebody, kalau orang kahwin ke any event ke perayaan ke, banyak orang tak pakai baju kebaya. Okay. And then dia ada kebaya panjang, ada kebaya pendek also they have. So that was the trend lah. Kebaya sampai hari ini. Okay, lelaki untuk orang Portugis kalau dia kahwin dia pakai baju coat, pakai baju coat. Alright, they follow the European style sikit baju coat. Tapi dia orang ada persandingan kalau persanding baju coat. And then untuk dia orang menari ke apa any perayaan, they have got a special costume for it. You know what I mean? Lelaki punya kostum macam baju tidur. Dia ada stripe macam baju jail macam tu. That is something very unique lah.
Pakai apa?
That one is the traditional clothes of the parliament. Just traditional clothes.
Yang ada topi juga saya pakai.
Tak ada topi, just pakai baju macam tu saja. So it looks like baju tidur. And that one sudah tak ada lagi lah. Orang tak pakai lagi. Tak pakai lagi. In the museum we have got some samples. So baju kebaya is the most important that has come down lah. Trend to trend. Okay, so food. Now, they were living in the fort, they were buying stuff ataupun rempah-rempah yang sudah sedia ada. And because of the standard of living for the Portuguese in the fort, it is different with the standard of living with the military Portuguese. You know what I mean? So that's why they mix with the people, the local people. So they belajar antara satu sama lain lah. Like katakan you masak rendang, saya nak belajar macam mana masak rendang. You know what I mean? Daripada kamu, so I have got. So kita punya rendang kita panggil kari set. You know what I mean? Tapi sama. Rempah sama mungkin rasa no, depend. Orang lain masak lain lah. But the method is the same. You know what I mean? So you got a dry kari rendang, we also got a dry kari rendang lah. And then the Indian also ada juga, dry kari. So we learn lah from another special food. These are the same food that we have. So we got asam pedas. We have the Portuguese food. Now out of that, we have got some unique food, which brings a lot of tourists, which makes us important in Portuguese settlement. Alright, one of our unique food is actually the baked fish. Baked fish. Okay, our baked fish cara kita masak lain sikit.
Dia
bakar dalam foil, dan letak rempah dalam kat sana about maybe 7 minutes rempah, and then 50 lah and everything.
Saya sangat suka ikan cecek. Dan saya tahu apa ada dalam ni. Ada beli sikit, saya bawa.
Depend, ada orang letak beli, ada orang
sambal dia sangat tinggi. Rasanya memang sangat lain. Saya masuk ke.
Ada kat sini.
Dia ada kurang satu.
About 7 rempah lah. Some people letak 6, some letak 7. Okay, kalau keras lebih sikit, so dia pekat.
Cik-cik ni bagi peluang kalau cik-cik nak claim makanan Portugis yang asal. Apa yang cik-cik? Macam makanan ni.
Okay, our main food for Portuguese settlement is kari debel. That's the main one. This one, kari debel. Okay, the ayam. This is the main one. Okay, but it does not affect tourists so much like those days. But this is our traditional food, which means every house dia akan ada masa perayaan.
Kalau orang Portugis, ini kalau dia nak claim, this is
yes. Because why? Dia pakai, orang tak boleh buat. I mean, dia pakai 3 sets of rempah. First set is 9 jenis rempah. The second set is the chili hidup and disawi and some halia. There's another set. And the third set is the vinegar, cuka. So they handle everything, and the chicken they must marinate dengan soya sauce cair. Probably half a day macam itu. And then they lepas tumis rempah settle, letak ayam tu kat sana, and then letak air, chocolate potato lah, letak potato sikit, and then itu cukup dah. Simpan lagi 1 hari lagi sedap. Rasa dia lagi kuat. Kita pakai santan. So the style of doing is a bit different. And then ada orang dia buat macam mana tahu, cili dia pun dia separate. So dia bilang dia masak yang lain dulu, rempah lain, lepas tu baru masuk cili kering lah. Rempah cili kering. So bila kamu makan ni kan, tak rasa pedas, rasa dulu, and then pedas dia datang. So ada trik lah. So because of that kan, banyak orang tak boleh buat. So we go to Johor, you go to Kuala Lumpur, kari devil sini you try. And then you try sini lain. Dorang boleh, dorang buat, tapi it's a different taste. But this kari, those days has brought in a lot of tourists because people are trying chicken.
Kalau macam tu saya nak mengimbau sikit kenangan lama saya je. Ada tak cik-ciknya masa dengan dia ada rumah dulu, ada pagi, makan sapi, apa bugis, biasa, sarapan. Apa pelakon yang memang teori yang macam kita beli kan, so pagi macam kita ada mata ubi kayu yang tak selalu lah, tapi dia akan remind you about your history kan. Ada tak yang dulu yang
sentimental value lah.
Different family, different lifestyle lah. They live, different lifestyle. But if you talk about food, because there was one shop, ada satu kedai, kedai Cina, sampai hari dia bercakap pisang. So long time. Sebelum saya lahir dia sudah ada sana. Sekarang dia ada kat sana lah. Because you know, last time they will take half of the house buat rumah. So my parents will bring me to that shop, you know, and we have our coffee there, you know. Sebelum masuk pergi sekolah lah, and then ada bihun sana, nasi lemak sana, you know. So that shop happens to be our base atau tempat persinggahan kita lah. So in the afternoon, different batch of people. In the night, different batch of people. Morning, different batch of people. So that is the main place lah, macam tu lah, you know. So I will always remember that because why? It's a unique thing because that family is a Chinese family. It's a Chinese family, and they speak Islam lagi bagus daripada saya. You know what I mean? And then he has been here until today. You know, it's the daughter's daughter. You know, it's handling. So it's a good memory lah because there was a time when nearby to my house. So there's a time my parents will sit with me. I will eat my bihun and I have my coffee. Why not? So bihun tu dalam mulut dengan kopi tu, wah, that's the best. You know what I mean? So macam sedap, you know, inside your mouth. I miss lah that one. Tak boleh dapat lagi. Dan bihun tak boleh dapat. So
tapi itu bukan original budaya Portugis.
Bukan. So like budaya Portugis, what we have here is the loceng. Atau today we have. Dulu kita pakai rim tire. So rumah kat sana saja. Alright, we have a rim tire, rim lorry. So we have a rod besi. Alright. So kalau ada orang mati, we hit lah. We hit the gong lah. Slow 15 kali ya, slow. So orang tahu ada orang dah meninggal lah. So semua orang keluar cari satu meninggal dan dia kena support. And then kalau ada orang kahwin, dia datang, right lah. So bila dah lepas gereja, ceremony gereja datang aja, so dia will hit very fast, you know. So semua orang akan keluar and support, you know. Kalau ada meeting, so we will hit very fast, semua orang keluar support. If kita ada nak pergi gereja ke, we have got kelas agama ke apa, so we use the bell to inform the people of something to get the people together, right? So that was the bell. So it was a rim tire dulu, but in 1980s we had it donated by the Portuguese government. Our regidor masa tu Encik Michael Yang. So Michael Yang went to Portugal, met with some officials there, and then they knew our culture and they donated one bell to us during the 1980s, 1982 ke 1983 lah macam itu. So this is the bell lah.
Daripada Portugal.
Ada kat sana.
So mesti guru sekarang
So ada ke?
Ada hubungan
Ada ke?
Ada hubungan dengan perletaan
we have contact with them, right? Not just contact in terms of getting to know lah. Right? Not every got a function, we invite them, you know, like that. Like now we are going to prepare a national conference on scopes and dimension, number 3, of Portuguese Indonesia and Asia and other parts of the world. So in December we want to do this program. So we get them to help us. Ada contact lah sikit.
Jadi semuanya ada ni tak?
first conference.
No, we are on our own. We are on our own. Contact means just macam
Maksud saya anjurkan ni satu Portugis.
JKK.
First time.
Yes, first time we
Okay, macam food okay. Kita selalu pernah makan kuih Lopez. Mesti kata produk Portugis kan? Lopez. Pernah dengar? Kuih Lopez.
lapis.
Lopez.
Lapis.
It's made from pulut. Dalam 3 segi.
Oh ya. Yes.
Nomor warna hijau lah.
Ya, dalam 3 layer tu kan.
Masih.
Warna hijau.
Ya, sebab nama Lopez kot. Ingat je jadi Lopez.
Warna hijau, warna hijau. Ini cuma dia dimakan kamera lah. No, kita susah jumpa tiga sini, kita jumpa bulat.
We have got a few set of kuih lah. Mungkin there is one of them lah. But I'm not so familiar with the cake lah.
Tapi kuih Lopez tu popular daripada Indonesia sikit.
Oh, Indonesia. Ours are more related to Bapa Luna. Bapa Luna and the Malay culture kuih. They've got a lot of similarities. One of our kuih which is the most, I would say, significant ialah kuih Portugal. Kuih Portugal is the most significant. Sampai hari ni tempat-tempat lain pun ada orang yang buat kuih Portugal. Ada kuih dia. So dia pakai glutinous rice, right? Very soft and banyak coconut. So warna reddish, pink, reddish, white macam itu. Kuih Portugal. Jonker Street. Saya ada pergi lah dekat Bukit Pulau saya rasa. But it's from here. So we have a lot of cakes here, but most of our cakes are not the same with the Bapa Luna cakes. Almost the same. And some of the cakes and the drinks we have lost before. So masa time in Trudu, right? What we do in the afternoon, we encourage the people to sell the traditional cakes. So I prepared some recipe here just to bring back to memory lah of the cakes. You know what I mean? That try okay, this is our drinks. Jibe is our Portuguese traditional drink. Jibe is our Portuguese traditional drink. So this is one of our food, semua temperada. And this one is a kuih Portugal lah.
Ini semua yang kira legacy atau tradition yang
Yes. Yang sekarang kita tak never do anymore.
itulah saya tahu kita tak pernah
So what I did is that I made a research kan. So I buat my food department sekarang ni. So he handles for me lah. So it's a cottage industry chef lah. Now he's working in Lim Kok Wing sekarang as a chef lah.
Lim Kok Wing.
So dia kat sana, dia buat one store sana. So he will know more on the food. He's on the cottage industry.
Okay, Cik, saya sekarang nak move kepada soalan-soalan contemporary lah.
Okay.
Kahwinan. Masyarakat sekarang ni kahwinan macam mana? Digalakkan Indonesian kahwin Indonesian ataupun sekarang untuk sekarang ni lah katanya sekarang Chinese ataupun Malaysia.
Dia tak ada masalah lah. So it's up to the individual. Lah. Those days masa saya kecil-kecil kan, internet masa tu internet tak ada, pen lah dia ada. So the parents would encourage us to marry the people they know. Orang yang tak kenal lah. Orang yang kita tak kenal, dangerous sikit kita nak kahwin dengan orang. We don't know what will happen, especially if it's a daughter. You know what I mean? You are going to be there to marry somebody there. Then so they always encourage, you know, people. But today is different. Transport has become better, situations, communication has become better. So because of that, we have actually the kind of like freedom. You know, you choose, we see, we know. Alright, it's okay. Right? Then we go ahead.
Generasi baru kaum Serani tak lagi lah kahwin Serani sekarang.
Ada.
Yang kahwin Melayu boleh?
Ada. We have got one person, he married a Muslim. Normally they will live here and go to another place because kita punya culture sini a bit different. So they like the Malay culture, so they will give the Malay culture. Now we have got one lady, Aida her name. Now she likes the Portuguese culture. So she lived here in Portugal for a long time, and she can speak Portuguese Kristen better than me. You know what I mean? And the daughters and the children, they all can speak Kristen very well. But they are Muslim, and they married Muslim after that. Now they are staying at the place. So anytime when we got a function for like katakan governor coming, CM datang orang official kan, so we get them to do the cooking.
Oh, tapi dia bukan Portugis.
Dia bukan Portugis. Alright. So yes, sebenarnya
masyarakat Serani sekarang ni campuran ada batasan ni. Kampung ni pokok semua orang.
Yes.
Budaya campur.
But we take care of our people here lah. Ada orang tahu. So itu museum lah. Ada asal dia tu.
Serani ada Patan Arab saja.
Okay lah. That one ikut pada individual lah.
Yang memang
Because memang ada. Ada, I can tell you the Patan Arab a few of it. But I have my own reason which I do not, why I do not follow lah. Psychological reason. Okay, one of the Patan Arab is that, you know, bila kita nak makan nasi kita tahu kan nasi tu, they say don't take on the middle lah. Take on the side. Alright. So a lot of people ikut macam itu. See, I said nanti you don't come to you always got some money. I mean, alright. The second one, and then when you makan the nasi, you see, and then you must clean, mesti bersih. I mean, bersih. Then you can get good wife, beautiful wife. Alright. Psychologically is correct, you know. Psychologically is correct. And then after you makan a lot of food lah, I would say lah, because these are the things that you always remember. They got other kind of Patan Arab also. So don't lapis-lapis juga pinggan kalau makan. Nanti intang banyak di pinggan. So this Patan Arab. Also got some psychological. And then bila kahwin masa tu dulu kan takut hujan, so they must take the bride pengantin perempuan baju dia campak atas bubur. Mengambil macam tu bubur.
Tapi cuma cara orang mungkin sikit ya.
Kalau orang baik pun ada. So tak akan hujan lah. So dulu bahasa orang kahwin memang it's open air. Sekarang mana ada open air, semua indoor saja. Indoor. So that's why they don't go. But you know, if it's open air, they will do that.
Masa dia kahwin Portugis or
saya kahwin 3 kali satu orang. Alright. So what happened is that because of finance, because my father passed away, and my mother left me. I was 8 years old at the time. So she had gone to Johor Bahru. So I didn't have anybody. So what I saved a little bit of money, and then I only knew this girl dalam 3 bulan, and then sudah nak kahwin already. Saya pun sudah berumur lah. I just kahwin 4 years ago. And then after the first day I did it was in my house, registration day. Rumah saya. And then the second day I did it was masa kahwin kat gereja. I put a few months after that kahwin kat gereja. And then they said one more time. And then next time when my wife daripada Sarawak, the people can come already, you know. They have some money to come. And then I did it in the restaurant.
okay, so Ali tak ada Portugis tradition tak ada. So macam
semua ada.
Macam Kristiannya.
I do the Chinese style sikit. And then masa kat rumah saya buat Portugis sikit. And then masa kat gereja Catholic sikit lah. So semua saya masuk campur. So everything got mix. But most of the people here, they like to do the Chinese style. The Chinese style, because why? Safe, the money can come back. We spend a lot of money, but money will come back. They do the, you know, when you open air macam ni, 1,000 orang datang, food is not enough, you have to pay this, pay that, and then the apa pun sikit. So they always lose out. So that's why they like to do the Chinese style.
Encik, ada ni tak orang kita nak video? Ada lagi orang lain?
That's why saya nak call this museum to so you can interview him lah.
Soalan terakhir saya, Encik. Apa pandangan Encik tentang hubungan etnik? Saya hubungan masyarakat Serani, kerajaan, dan di pandangan secara maksud saya Encik puas hati dengan berlaku sekarang ataupun merasa masyarakat Portugis dipinggirkan dalam konteks
memang kalau kamu there is a lot of people here kan, a lot of people here they are not satisfied kan, people are not satisfied lah. But personally bagi saya lah, I don't speak on behalf of them, I speak on behalf of me and my family. I am satisfied with what I have and what is control. I'm very satisfied and I'm contented with it, and that is why I enjoy life. That's how I enjoy life. Alright. Which means whatever happens, however the situation may be, I leave it in the hands of God. we can do what we are. This is what we are. This is how we handle things. We vote what we want. That's about it. And then whatever happens is in the hands of the Lord, except the effect. There is a reason for it. There is a reason why it is like that. I always believe that way. So that is why I'm satisfied. If you do not do anything wrong, you will always be okay. If you do something wrong, you must be brave enough to say that you did it wrong, and you must accept the fact. You know what I mean? A lot of people lying. You know, they not happy dengan kerajaan macam ni. They not happy with these people. They not happy with that people. And then it becomes overlap. You know what I mean? And then it becomes another one more different story.
Ada rasa ditinggikan tak? Ditinggikan ataupun tak mendapat perhatian?
No. Bagi JKK kat sini, alright? Bagi JKK kat sini, whatever we need, we have the body to write. Whatever.
So salah satu channel dia JKK lah.
JKK. So JKK is the channel to get anything that we need from the government. It's a connection. It takes some time, but you must know how to do it and you can get it done. Because I do not believe that the top fellas are in the wrong. It's always during the middle fellas where they take their time to do the slow speed. And then one hand to another hand, and then the rest is slow speed. But when you go back to the top, esok sudah. Right? It's like that lah. Anywhere you go is the same.
Jadi okey, itu macam sekolah kahwin kan? Sekolah yang dipilih orang lapak sendiri yang kau boleh pilih sekolah kebangsaan ke atau sekolah korporat ke atau sekolah yang
Now it goes by the area. So untuk kaum Portugis kat sini, there's been a trend that they go to sekolah kebangsaan St. Francis. So sekolah St. Francis is actually a Catholic school dulu lah. Dulu a brother school, and then there are brothers down there, and then there is a chapel sana lagi. So easy lah, diorang nak pergi sana, and then they can do that prayer, worship down there. So untuk kaum Portugis kat sini, that is the first choice. If dia lambat masuk nama,
Masih ada chapel di sekolah tu?
ada satu chapel.
Masih hidup
It's the most beautiful chapel in Southeast Asia. That chapel.
So saya kena pergi lawat apa sih?
St. Francis School. SFI School. No. Shouldn't be a problem.
So saya kena most beautiful.
Yes. It's the most beautiful in Southeast Asia. Chapel, bagi chapel lah.
Yeah.
So Brother Ambrose is there. Alright, you can ask for Brother Ambrose Look or Brother Michael. Brother Ambrose in charge lah kat sana.
Dia senang.
Dia is from Penang, Look Chinese. Bawah orang itu. Serang ni saya rasa satu aja yang dari Padi. Satu aja yang dari Padi. Actually, the Portuguese did not bring the Catholics religion into this area. It was, you see, they came 1511. Alright. 1550 St. Francis Xavier. Kamu pergi St. Paul ada satu patung St. Francis Xavier. Dia yang ikut Portuguese datang kat sini. And then lepas tu baru dia menyebarkan agama Kristian kat sini. Portuguese datang sini sebab nak ekonomi dan duit dan business lah. Sampai hari ni dia explain Portuguese macam tu. I tell you straight forward. They are not into that religion kind of people. They are more of, you see the perayaan, you know already. Every time enjoy. Yeah. Okay.
Sekarang orang Sari nama yang kerja apa? Di kampungan ni yang kerja apa?
Dulu orang kerja sebagai nelayan lah. Sekarang nelayan sambil nak part time lah. So now most of them are they have got their own job. Like me, I'm actually a medical rep. Alright. And then some of them doing scaffolding in Singapore. Some of them they go to farm and do some of them office, some of them bank job.
So tak ada yang koalisi kerja lama tak ada lagi lah. Yang memang buat kerja fisherman.
Fisherman kalau bandingkan 100 of them 100 mungkin 2 atau 3 sahaja
masih ada bisa sedikit lah.
Full time lah 3 or 4. But part time all of them.
Part time all of them.
So whenever kalau tengok ada udang ada semua tu.
Udang geragau sini. Udang geragau.
Geragau kalau banyak udang semua tu juga.
Geragau
sini.
Is geragau.
Geragau.
Geragau is
Maka boleh geragau.
Geragau lah, it's Melaka lah. It's actually the Kristen language Melaka.
Yes, geragau.
No, not Portuguese.
No.
It's local language. Next sini ada.
satu ayat je.
Sini ada boleh baca.
Ini kita boleh baca tapi pronouns itu yang
Betul, saya belum tahu. Beng laki, come here. Masuk ni beng laki. Jak bumi masuk selamatkan. Kagak kumi makanan, kagak masuk pergi berak. Miza pergi kencing. Ini semua kita ajar anak dulu, basic.
Saya ada soalan sedikit. Mungkin dia cik ingat ataupun memang ada yang ada peristiwa penting tahun sekarang kat Malaysia. Seperti maknanya macam kita ada contoh macam 13 Mei yang Malaysia lah. So sekarang yang sedih ataupun yang sedih ataupun yang ini mungkin yang penting yang memang selain daripada perayaan yang memang tahun sekarang kita ingat ataupun terjadi di Malaysia. Contoh sekarang
Okay lah, actually ada banyak juga kalau nak kira dari dulu lah. The latest one we had 3 orang remaja accident mati all the same time, all the same time. Came on the newspaper. Datuk Amin sekarang pun tak tahu. So 2 of them actually datang, kami from Singapore to get married. Diorang datang sini get married, semua dah siap. Lepas tu kena accident.
Kawin orang mana ni?
Dan dia kahwin orang Johor tapi India. So nak kahwin kat sini. So semua dah siap kat sini. So they made accident and then satu lagi this girl lah. That girl the house is here. Dia pun kena accident and all 3 died. Terus sekali because why dia bomba bengkok macam ni. So very terrible. And then the kampung came out and then everybody was so sad, you know. Everybody was so sad. And everybody visited, even the Raja came and visit.
Ada tak peristiwa rusuhan kat sini? Diserang zaman komunis contohnya, contoh lah.